Hello, YouTube. Sir Dragon X here. Have you ever wondered what to do if you get in a minor car accident here in Mexico? Well, we're going to discuss that in the video coming up next. Have you ever wondered what the procedure is if you get in a minor car accident here in Mexico? In some aspects, it may work the same as in your home country, but in many aspects, it works different here in Mexico. Just today, I experienced getting in a minor car accident on the highway in Monterrey. Today, I'm going to share my experience with you. Just to be clear, this is how to handle minor accidents, not major accidents. If for any reason you're in a major accident, you need to call 911 first to get emergency responders to the scene. Let me give you a little bit of background. I was on a major highway in Monterrey and attempted to change lanes, and another vehicle was in my blind spot. By the time my wife alerted me, it was too late. Although I was able to move over, the other vehicle sideswiped me. It could have been fatal, but luckily we both avoided that. We pulled over to the side of the road immediately for safety reasons. The other driver immediately got out of his car to check on us to make sure we were all right, and I also asked him if he was all right. We saw that the damage was not that major, so we pulled over to a safer location close to the accident. So now that you have the scenario, what are you supposed to do next? I know that in the United States, I would have called the police so they could fill out a police report for my insurance and determine fault, but not in Mexico. Actually, we didn't even call the police. Now keep in mind, as I stated earlier, if you have a major accident with injuries, call 911 to get first responders to the scene. Who did we call? Our insurance companies. That's right, we contacted our insurance company first after determining that nobody needed assistance. Here in Mexico, the insurance company will send an insurance adjuster to the location of the accident. Actually, it's always suggested that if you aren't blocking traffic or on a major highway, not to move at all and leave the cars in the same position as when the accident occurred. Why do I say this? Well, actually, it's not the police who determine fault. The ones who determine fault and do the accident report are the insurance adjusters. In Mexico, accidents are actually a civil matter and not criminal unless injuries occur. Now, there is a chance that if a police officer witnesses the accident, they will assist you with redirecting traffic or moving your cars out of the way. Many times, they may also stick around as a witness to give statements to the insurance adjusters. I immediately called the insurance's 24-hour emergency number. Make sure you have this number programmed in your phone. The operator took my information and even sent me a text message so that I could click on a link to send my location. As soon as I got off the phone with the operator, I was immediately contacted by an insurance adjuster who said he was on his way. The other driver's insurance adjuster arrived and gathered information from the other driver and got his side of the story and started taking pictures of both vehicles. At no point did I speak to the other driver's insurance adjuster, nor did he ask to speak with me. I waited patiently for mine to arrive. Once my insurance adjuster arrived, his first question was, why weren't we in the same location as the accident? And I explained that we moved for safety reasons. He then took my side of the story and took pictures of the damage of both vehicles. He also took my Mexican driver's license and car title, also known as a tarjeta de circulación, which must be in your vehicle at all times. I own a Mexican vehicle, but in the case of a foreign plated vehicle, this will be your tip, copy of car title, and your driver's license. Now, one thing's very clear. It was my fault because I made an incursion into the other person's lane. And the insurance adjuster explained that given the details and the laws in Mexico, it was my fault. He then asked me if I was willing to take responsibility for being at fault. Now, if for whatever reason you don't feel you're at fault, the insurance adjuster will ask you why you feel you weren't at fault. Now, it's important to note, no matter how you feel, in the end, both adjusters will determine who is at fault after they get the details of the accident based on witness statements and your stories. The adjusters use a standardized guide and the local traffic laws in the area to make a final determination of who's at fault. In my case, I fully accepted responsibility, so it made my adjuster's job way easier. But if for whatever reason you feel that you're not at fault, you need to let your adjuster know. and let them sort it out. After a short discussion amongst both adjusters, they each completed an accident report. My adjuster did everything on his smartphone, including the accident diagrams, pictures of the damage, and statements. I even signed my witness statement on his phone with my finger. Once a report was completed on his phone, my insurance adjuster sent me a copy of the report immediately to my email address. He indicated that my insurance would pay for the other individual's damage and not to worry. He then explained that I would be responsible for my deductible since I was at fault. He gave us the address of the closest facility approved to repair my vehicle. He also indicated he didn't think that the damage to my vehicle would cost more than my deductible, so if we wanted to fix it on our own, it was up to us. He further indicated that the deductible was only necessary if we had our vehicle repaired through them. I was then given simple instructions on what to do if we wanted to take our vehicle to the repair shop. Needless to say, although an inconvenience, it was taken care of just like that. No waiting for police reports, no sending police reports to my insurance. I basically walked away with everything I needed to fix my vehicle, and so did the other driver. So, what did I learn from this besides you better check your blind spot all the time? Here are some points that I took away from my experience that'll help you if you ever get in a minor accident here in Mexico. Number one, make sure your vehicle insurance is current. I have a Mexican vehicle, but what if you have a foreign plated vehicle? Your foreign insurance will not cover you in Mexico. At least Geico didn't prior to me moving to Mexico. What I did at the time was purchase Mexican car insurance for the duration of my trips in Mexico. Be aware, this is just as important as your tip. I purchased my Mexican insurance through a company that was referred to me by Geico. I did it online and could purchase the insurance by day, month, 6 months, or year. I would print the policy and keep that with my tip. Number two, leave your vehicle parked in the same position as when the accident occurred so that the insurance adjusters can conduct a thorough accident report or argue on your behalf if it's not clear who's at fault. With that being said, if you are blocking traffic or there is a safety concern mutually understood between you and the other driver, such as my situation, move your vehicle out of traffic as close to the accident as possible. Remember, the insurance adjusters will be conducting an accident report and analyzing the accident. They may need to interview nearby witnesses, measure skid marks, etc. Number three, if the other driver does not want to move their vehicle or you leave your vehicles in place, do your best to redirect traffic until assistance arrives from either the police or insurance adjusters. Be aware, though, that if the police arrive, their initial job will be to ensure public safety. They may leave the cars in position and redirect traffic or help you move the cars out of the way. They are not there to settle the accident. If for whatever reason they feel that some type of violation occurred, let your insurance adjuster deal with them. Number four, call your Mexican insurance immediately after determining that nobody has been hurt. Number five, if the other insurance adjuster arrives first, do not make any statements or speak with them. They are there to defend the other driver. Wait until your adjuster arrives and only speak with them. During the whole process, I never spoke with the other driver's insurance adjuster. I let them both do their jobs and speak amongst themselves. Number six, if the car is not drivable, the insurance adjuster will take care of getting your car towed on the spot and arrange transportation home for you. Number seven, be polite. I know it may be an upsetting situation, but remember, the insurance adjusters will determine who is at fault using standardized rules. If you are not at fault, let your insurance adjuster do the arguing for you. They know the rules and they're there to argue on your behalf or deliver the bad news that it's your fault. And number eight, last but not least, this was the easiest process that I've ever been through when in an accident. But I had to be patient because it did take time for the insurance adjusters to arrive and complete the reports. The good news is that once it's settled, you walk away with a solution. Hopefully, you won't get into an accident here in Mexico. But as we say here at Retired Life in Mexico, no bull. Always be prepared. Hope this information was useful. Don't forget to subscribe. Y nos vemos pronto.